We're now going to move on to our next presentation, which is the disability unit. And the disability unit is responsible for a number of services pertaining to our disabled students, as well as also staff. They are based on the Howard College campus, and they also participate in the teaching and learning aspects of our university life. And we are now going to hear what they provide as part of their services. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Subbiah, and I will be presenting on behalf of the Disability Support Unit. In my role as Information Access Officer, I serve as coordinator for the reformatting service, which aims to promote the academic inclusion of students with disabilities through the equitable provision of information in accessible format. South Africa has adopted fairly progressive legislation in line with the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Essentially, the country's policies speak towards greater inclusion and wider access to education. This is to be achieved by addressing exclusionary barriers to the successful completion of higher education qualifications and the holistic development of more productive graduates. For this reason, it is essential that institutes of higher learning incorporate comprehensive disability services, particularly as learners in the basic education sector have limited access to digital resources and specialized support mechanisms. Of the more than 50,000 students registered at UKZN, approximately between 400 to 600 students with disabilities are supported by the Disability Support Unit. On average, approximately 100 students with disabilities have graduated over the last 3 years, which has seen UKZN become a destination campus for students seeking contact-based learning. With the emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Institute rapidly transitioned towards an online modality for delivering teaching and learning. This saw several students have to engage in their academic programs from remote locations on virtual platforms as opposed to on a contact basis. Some of the key challenges experienced by students was access to data, network coverage, electricity, and access to the requisite technology, including assistive technologies for students with disabilities. The Institute implemented several intervention strategies. However, by far one of the most integral strategies was the invitation of students with disabilities back onto residences. Online virtual consults via Zoom and WhatsApp were key in delivering prompt specialized services to students with disabilities to help them navigate these challenging times. The model learning management system coupled to virtual instruction was utilized extensively to capacitate students with greater digital independence. In 2020, a Disability Support Unit Moodle page was created for the upload of content to improve the equitable access to information for students with disabilities, particularly in light of online teaching and learning. The page contains exercises to improve the overall basic computer literacy of students and guides and resources on the use of the online platforms employed by UKZN to help students engage efficiently and more productively in online learning. Training sessions were held remotely on virtual platforms to aid students in the transition to online learning. Most students were able to access the service as there was no restriction on the instructor being physically present. The total number of hours of instruction provisioned in 2020 on a virtual basis eclipsed that of instruction provisioned on a contact basis in 2019. While on a contact basis, very basic instruction was provisioned to deal with the specific needs of students, online learning coupled with virtual instruction saw students engage at a more advanced level on the online platforms employed by UKZN. We also saw higher levels of confidence in engaging in online platforms in 2021, with 112 active users on the DSU Moodle page operating currently. It's important to note as well that the reduction in stigma attributed to being physically present aided in greater engagement of students and improved academic performance. The Disability Support Unit is also involved in several collaborative initiatives with various institutional stakeholders in order to ensure greater access to information for students with disabilities. Some of the highlights have been our collaborative efforts with ICS in incorporating accessibility onto the UKZN self-screening application, and our collaborative efforts with UTLO in delivering a more digitally orientated South African Sign Language service. The following video provides an overview of our collaborative efforts with the UTLO team.
The Disability Support Unit at the University of KwaZulu-Natal supports students with diverse disabilities at the institution. These students benefit from specialized services that are aimed at equalizing access to higher education. Deaf students who use South African Sign Language (SASL) to communicate also form part of the cohort of students who benefit from these specialized services. Currently, there are 6 South African Sign Language interpreters employed in UKZN. 3 are based on the Howard College campus, 1 on the Pietermaritzburg campus, and 2 are based on the Aged campus. Since 2016, the number of deaf students enrolling in UKZN has steadily increased. Currently, there are 11 deaf students registered for academic programs across the 3 campuses. We have 4 students based on the Howard College campus in the College of Humanities, 4 on the Pietermaritzburg campus, with 3 in the College of Humanities and 1 in the College of Law and Management Studies. And 3 are based on the Aged campus in the College of Humanities School of Education. Academic interpreting involves an extensive number of subjects, fields, languages, and dynamics. Interpreters are faced with immense challenges when taking technical or academic language and conveying it into a language that has never been developed or standardized in this particular field. Some of these challenges include words that are technical, idiomatic, or unique to a particular field. The terminology that has been spelled out in SASL because there are no equivalent signs, and the use of different words that share a similar sign in the same sentence. Prior to the virtual instruction, interpreters had minimal access to teaching and learning materials. But with the transition to online learning, it has been a blessing in disguise in terms of ensuring access. Currently, South African Sign Language interpreters are added as teachers on the Learning Management System, commonly referred to as the UKZN Moodle or Learn 2021, to access all the learning materials prior and post scheduled lectures. Recorded lectures, such as PowerPoint presentations with audio, are encoded with SASL using a screen recording software. For live lectures, students access the content through Zoom by using the side-by-side view feature, which displays a split screen of shared content and the interpreter. To mitigate the challenges associated with module terminology difficulties, we have established a Sign Language Terminology Bank initiative, which is ongoing. All SASL encoded content is made available in the Kaltura interface, which can be accessed through the university's learning management system. A special thanks to the UTLO team for collaborating with us to ensure a smooth transition to the new mode of teaching and learning.
In conclusion, it is evident that the adoption of a more digital framework in delivering disability services will fast-track UKZN's transition in aligning its support services with the global 4th Industrial Revolution. Thank you.